Hey y'all, it's Courtney and I am back with another video, and I'm not on my normal phone. I can't get, I have some of Autumn's birthday, Autumn and Patience's birthday, videos on there, and I don't want to delete them yet. And I literally have to upload things and then delete them off my phone in order to film another video. And I don't want to delete them yet, but I really want to get this video out. I've been wanting to get it out since last week, since last Thursday, I think, the day after it came out. And it's just something I really want to speak on because like I always do, this is mainly what my channel is for, is showing different perspectives and different sides of the same coin, and not even the same coin, because there's so many different ways that you could look at this situation. But without further ado, I'm going to show this video. Excuse me. Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Please, please, please. If the thought of gun violence or school shootings or anything like that triggers you, please, please don't watch this. I do not want to trigger anybody with my videos, but I think this is a very important video to make, because there's so many different ways that you could look at this, and I kind of see all sides. And I know that's really weird to say because it's a pretty bad video. But let me just... Got a sports bra on, but this shirt, I don't know, it's weird. Okay. Oh, man. Try to get that glare off of there.
My mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These helpful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too. These new socks? They can be a real lifesaver. I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
Man, I really hope you guys could see that without a glare on it, because I just realized that it was still glaring really bad the whole time. I hope you guys saw it. I'm gonna upload this video no matter what, because you could hear it. If my face was reflecting, I apologize. But I'm gonna upload this anyways because I don't have time to remake it. I have to go get the girls off the school bus. But I have to get this out here. It's been on my mind. You guys know how I am. When something really, really gets on my mind, I've got to make the video, or it just eats at me and eats at me and eats at me when it's something that really hits home with me. And man, this video, this year is my first time putting kids into school. 2 at that. I've got one in pre-K and one in 6th grade, but we just got custody of her. We just got full custody of her, so she's finally with us and going to school with us. So this year, it was hectic putting 2 kids into school and never doing it before. So having to sign them up, and, you know, especially with my older one, having to get all of her, everything's transferred, especially because she went to school in a different county entirely. But as a first-time enrolling mother, seeing something like that, just the first 2 times I watched it, I cried. That end part with the little girl was sitting on the toilet, man, that broke my heart. Now I'm gonna speak I'm going to try to show different sides of the coin, like I said, or the cube, because there's way more than two sides to this situation. So, my first thought was, what the fuck is wrong with these people? They're going to have kids terrified to go to school. My kid saw this, she would not want to go to school the next day. I know she wouldn't. She would be like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Because then it just puts the thought in the back of their head that they should constantly be worried. Instead of being able to learn and get as much knowledge as they can in school, they have to be worried about somebody breaking up in the school and busting in and shooting them up. That's terrifying. But then the second thought was, well, that's the world we live in these days. And our kids should be prepared. Our kids need to know that there is a chance that the next school shooting could be their school. And I hate to say that, but it's a reality in the United States these days. School shootings are happening at higher and higher and higher rates. And I pray to God that it's never my child's school or your child's school that this happens in. I pray that you or your friends or your family or anybody you know is never affected by gun violence at all. But we all know that in this age, that's very unlikely that you've never been affected by gun violence. Or anybody you know has never been affected by gun violence. And that's sad. It's very highly unlikely that you don't know somebody that has been a victim of gun violence. So, like I said, my first thought was, oh my God, what are they doing? What are they thinking? Like, they're going to have kids not wanting to go to school. You know, they're going to have kids terrified in the back of their mind thinking that there's going to be a school shooter, you know. But then again, I can understand where they're coming from because our kids do need to be prepared if something would ever happen. I know that I would rather them do, because they do drills now, I believe. They do, you know what I mean. They do drills for school shootings now, these days. And as terrifying as it is that they have to do that, I would rather them do that and our kids know what to do in case of an emergency or in case something like that would happen, rather than them have no idea of what to do and panic and not know what to do. You know what I mean? I would rather my child know what to do than them not know what to do. We didn't have to do that whenever I was a kid because gun violence in schools was unheard of. Well, school shootings was unheard of. I'm sure there was gun violence in schools, but it was between one person or whatever. Not even gun violence, but maybe like stabbings and stuff like that in schools. But it was like very rare. And now these days, I believe last year there was like, I'm not even going to give a number, but I know that within the first 2 months of, maybe it was 2019. I was thinking 2018, but I think it was I think it's this year. There was like 16 or 17 school shootings within the first month or two. That is terrifying. Do I think that they could have went in a different direction with that? Yes, I do. And there was also writing at the end. Let me see what it said, because I had an issue with something that it said. I can't remember what it said, though. Oh. Okay, so at the end... Hold on. It's back to school time, and you know what that means. School shootings are preventable when you know the signs. Okay, so I have an issue with that. And the issue lies with the fact that 99% of the time, the parents of these school shooters, when you ask them, did you see the signs? Were they this? Were they that? The parents are like, can't believe that their child did this. They're just like as surprised as anybody else in the world is that their kid did it. More surprised than anybody else, because they know their child best. And if they're surprised and they know this person in and out like the back of their hand, most parents know their children. I know my girls. I know everything about them. I know what they like. I know what they don't like. I know. But then again, my kids talk to me about everything. My kids are never afraid to talk to me about anything. They come to me with their problems because they know instead of yelling and screaming and cussing or hitting when they have an issue, I'm going to try to work on it with them. I'm going to try to help them. There's more than one way to deal with kids. We all know this. I don't have to tell you guys that. But 90% of these kids come from good homes. I think there's been a few that have come from really, not great backgrounds. I'm sorry. I know, I just realized that that's probably disrespectful to talk about that, or to sit there and put on my lip gloss while I'm talking about death. I apologize. It's just crazy to me that they say at the end, when you know the signs, it's preventable. Okay, will you tell me what signs I should be looking for? And if we're looking for signs, do you know how many kids possess a lot of the signs? Because I'm sure that some of it's like, depressed, angry, irritable, How many teens are angry, irritable, depressed? They're angsty teenagers, all right? Just because a teen is angsty and, has a bit of depression, most of them act like they have a depression because that's the cool thing these days, is to be mentally ill. I try to tell my daughter all the time that it is not fun to be mentally ill. It is not a personality trait to be mentally ill. I wake up every day and I wish to God that I wasn't mentally ill. So she needs to appreciate that she has a normal functioning brain. That's something to be proud of. Not the fact that you're mentally ill, but it's a reality that it's cool to be mentally ill these days. So a lot of kids act angsty and depressed and mysterious, and a lot of them go through phases wearing trench coats and they go through phases, man. Do you know how many kids in my high school, because whenever I was in high school, the cool thing was to be emo or scene or punk, and I was one of those kids. And do you know how many people I knew that came to school in trench coats and all black, with chains and guy liner? You remember that? Guy liner instead of eyeliner. Do you know how many kids came to school dressed like that? And none of them were violent. They were angsty, they were depressed, and they were socially awkward, and they didn't have a lot of friends, and this and that. But not a one of them was violent. Never. So what signs should we be looking for? And this video was made by Sandy Hook Promise. I should have mentioned that at first. Sandy Hook Promise. That is the YouTube channel. And I believe that this was an ad that was ran before videos. Right before school time. Because it says ad. It says back to school ad. Sandy Hook Promise. So I'm confused. Like, was this an ad that ran before? Like, I'm speechless if YouTube ran that as an ad. As long as you're paying them, they don't give a shit they'll run whatever you want them to. If somebody made that as a video, on a normal channel, demonetized. And I guess you could put that under, like, educational purposes. But at the same time, like, I'm pretty sure they ran it as an ad before videos. Like, your kid wants to go and watch a DIY, school DIY hack video. And before they can get to that video, they see a mock shooting. And it says, oh, well, be prepared. Be prepared, kid, because this could happen to you. This is a very real thing, and it very well could happen to you. Dude, are you joking? Like I said, there's so many different things to look at in this situation. But one of the main ones is, come on. I understand what you were trying to get. I completely understand what they were trying to get across. That our children do need to be prepared in the event of something like this happening. I get it. I agree. But I don't agree with filming a mock school shooting to put fear in them of going to school, period. And not only that, I don't want to make this a race thing. I don't. I really don't. I don't know if I even want to go there. But you guys go watch it, and you tell me what you think about the first person. The person that says, oh, well, my mom got me this cool backpack to fit all my stuff in. And then he slides the backpack out and brings it with him. I don't know if that means anything, because they don't show the shooter, of course. But I hope that's not what they're implying. Because we know that typically, okay, I'm not even going to go there. But typically, we know school shooters and what they look like and, you know, who they typically are. But like I said, just because somebody looks a certain way or acts a certain way, you can't label them as a school shooter. And what are you going to do anyways? What are you going to do? Nobody is a mind reader. They don't know when something's going to happen. What are they supposed to do? Even if they see the signs. You can't just kick a kid out of school because they're angsty and depressed and this and that and they wear a trench coat. You can't go around kicking kids out of school for something that you can't even prove. So what are you supposed to prevent, and how are you supposed to prevent it? Sandy Hook Promise, that's my question, is you're telling us to look for the signs. What are the signs then? Make a video, A, telling us what the signs are, and B, telling us how to prevent this, and how we should know what to do when we see the signs. Are we supposed to kick every angsty teenager out of school when we see signs that millions of kids possess? Traits that millions of people possess. Are we supposed to kick them all out of school just because they want to wear a trench coat? Or because they listen to death metal? Or because they, I don't know. I mean, certain ones I can understand, like the Columbine shooters, they were filming all kinds of stuff, and like they were pretty, you know, rah about it. Like, they were pumped about it, and they were, like, planning this for a while. But still in all, their parents didn't see signs of them wanting to kill other people. I don't think any parent can see signs of their child wanting to murder another person. How would you ever think that about your own child? I know that there are sociopaths out there, and I know there are psychopaths out there, and that's obviously, when your child's a sociopath or a psychopath, you're pretty well aware. But most of these kids that do these school shootings, I don't believe they're sociopaths or psychopaths. I'll have to look into that to see if that's a factor in most of these cases, or in most of these instances. I don't believe it is, though. I think that a lot of these kids are copycats. They feel like those kids got back at their bullies or whatever, but the thing that kids aren't understanding is that those boys were not even unpopular or picked on or any of that. One of them played football. One of them was like a ladies' man. You know what I mean? So the media portrayed that whole incident in a very bad way, because now there are little copycats running around because they want to be just like that. They want to get back at their bullies. And I'm going way off topic. I think you guys understand where I'm trying to go with this. That video was a miss. I honestly liked the video. I liked the video. I think it was done really well, and it's obvious the point. They show the point very well, what they're trying to get at. I just don't think that they executed it in the right way. I think that they could have got their message across in a not so harsh way. Because they have to remember, these are kids. They can't handle things like adults can. You show a kid that video, and if I would show my 11-year-old daughter that video, her anxiety would go through the roof. She didn't even have anxiety, but she would be anxious to go to school the next day. I know she would. I know how she is. She would be worrying about that. That thought wouldn't leave her head for at least a week after I showed it to her. I would never show that to my child. I think that my child should know what to do in the event of a school shooting. And I think that it's good that they have drills now. But I don't think that I want to scare her of even walking into a school with something like that. I need to stop talking. I could go on and on about this because that video just gave me so many different thoughts running through my mind. I could really just say a million things about it, but those are the main points that I wanted to talk about. I'd love for you guys to give your opinions in the comment section. Please, if somebody disagrees with you and you have a differing opinion from them, please do not give them hate in my comments. I love having conversations in my comments, and I would love for you guys to have conversations with each other in my comments. However, I will not deal with people bashing each other, because my channel, anybody that's here for any amount of time and have seen more than one of my videos knows that my channel is not about hate and any of that. We don't need any more of that. There's enough hate in this world that we don't need to make more with each other. You understand? You understand? Talking to you like you're my kids now. Do you understand? But anyways, yeah, so be kind to each other. If you guys want to have a conversation, I would love to see that. But I don't want to see you guys being dicks to each other. But yeah, let me know what your opinion is down in the comment section. I just know that I will never show this to my daughters. Never. Will I talk to my daughters about what they should do in the event of a school shooting? Yeah, I probably will. I will probably watch a few more videos and see what the best advice is, and tell my older one. My younger one, I'm not even allowed to go into her, walk her to her class. My one in pre-K, I'm not even allowed to walk her to her class because they are so strict about letting people into the school because of school shootings and stuff. So I get it. It's a real thing. But I wouldn't show it to my younger daughter. She's not old enough to even understand, so there's just no point. Alright guys, I really have to go get my kids off the bus, but yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If that video was glary, I'm sorry. I was really trying to get it not to be, but at the end I noticed that my face was glaring right back at you, so hopefully it was okay. If not, you guys get the point. But if you want to see the video for yourself, it's on Sandy Hook Promise. That's the YouTube channel. Go watch it and see what you guys think, and come back and let me know what your conclusion is. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are really my family on here, and I don't think you guys know how much I do appreciate you and love talking to you guys. I will talk to you. Actually, I think I'm going to be uploading another video here later. I might not. I might wait till tomorrow because I want this video to get as much attention as possible, because this is something that everybody needs to see that ad. Because there's a lot to say about it. I love you guys. I'll see you later.